Hey guys, it's Garrett with Green Industries. Got another mower review for you today. We've got our Toro 4000 series, so let's get into it. The 4000 series Toro was introduced alongside the 2000 series. It's been a few years now, and they've made a ton of changes to these mowers. Had the outgoing 3000 series. They brought in two new models to replace it, 2000, 4000. The model we're reviewing today is the 4000 series. For us, this has been the new staple for commercial fleets. We sell more of these for sit-down zero turns than anything else for commercial fleets. There's a lot of reasons for that. One, it's a fantastic machine. We're going to review all the reasons why that is. And two, Toro's fleet program is very aggressive. So if you're buying multiple machines, they run off of a point system, but it's pretty easy to get to their top tier fleet. You get 24% off MSRP, and it's locked in for 2 years. With the breadth of the Toro line, from zero turn mowers, ZTRs, to standers with a grandstand, to the multi-force, which gives you all season capability, whether spring, fall with leaves and the blower, winter with the plow, have the ability to aerate, all of those things, walk behinds, just they have a ton of different products, so it's easy to get into fleet, and once you're in fleet, you get 24% off for 2 years. So I want to show you all of the features of this machine, why it is so popular for fleet users, what the success has been. Our warranty rate is extremely low on these, which is fantastic, especially for those commercial guys. We do have homeowners that buy these as well for larger properties, just because it's a really tough machine and probably going to be their last machine. So if you're looking to invest money in your property and buy your last machine, this is definitely a contender. So a few upgrades that they made on the 4000 series from the outgoing model. The biggest, or one of the biggest, is going to be this front I-beam construction. So this is new with Toro. It's super beefy, super strong. It's weighted pretty well, gives it a balanced feel. Really big casters up front. There's a lot of different options with these mowers with the 4000 series. They go from 48 inch, 52 inch, 60 inch, all the way up to 72 inch. So there's a lot of versatility within this platform, and engine sizes as well. So the one that we're looking at today has the FX801. Within the lineup, they have EFI, they have carbureted, they have Kawasaki, and they have Kohler. They really start around 25 horsepower, and they go all the way up to 35 horsepower, depending on the model and what your needs are. So with this platform, the 4000 series, there are a ton of options. We stock a ton of options, and it's just case-based. So depending on the properties you cut, depending on your engine preference, we can make some recommendations there as well. But we have something for everyone within the 4000 series. One of the big changes was the design. I mean, this thing looks awesome, right? It's just sleek looking. The laser engraving, most of the manufacturers we work with are going to that. The stickers used to peel off and look terrible in a year or two. Obviously, this is going to hold up pretty well. So there is a new engine design, not the engine itself, but the way it's positioned in the mowers. So on the 3000 series and on the current 5000 and 6000 series, the engine is turned 90 degrees. Okay, so it was sideways. Now they've rotated it back. It did a couple things. One, it helped dissipate heat better, right? There's just more airflow around the engine to get away from the hydros. And two, it made it a lot easier to service. The starter is extremely accessible. Oil changes can't be any easier. Everything on the engine to get all the way around it, valve adjustments, all the things you need to do. It's super simple, and we appreciate that from Toro. Also have a hydraulic reservoir that's very easy to get to for your hydro services. Well thought out, well laid out rear end. Battery, I mean, that's the thing that you need to get to the most when it dies. For our customers, it seems like it's every spring, just from being in the cold winter. Battery's super easy to get to if you need to and jump it or change it. This is definitely our top seller for fleets. The Pro model has 4,400 hydrogear transaxles. It's extremely quick and nimble. It's relatively lightweight. We're gonna check out some hills and see how it does, but it does well on hills. Has a 24 by 12 by 12 standard tire size. The deck is the Turbo Force deck. A couple things with that. One, the way it's set up from the factory, it works excellent. We have had zero cut quality complaints from any of our customers, and we sell a lot of these machines. We have heard in some climates outside of our market that the deck, because it doesn't have a front baffle, doesn't vacuum or distribute the grass as well as some need. Hasn't been the case here, and we'll show you some clips of us cutting and see how it does. But there is a baffle kit for the front as well. So if you're used to the 5000 series and the way it cuts, this machine can cut just like it. There is a baffle kit that can go on the front. It has a rear baffle from the factory. The front baffle can be added if you need it. One feature that we really appreciate about the Toros in general, and our customers do as well, is the deck, and specifically how easy it is to access the spindles and pulleys and the belt, most importantly. So they've had this design probably since 2009 now. The spindle covers for the belt, you could just pop it right off and it's that easy. These are plastic, but they hold up really well and they're super easy to get on and off, which is really nice. So when grass gets up in here, it doesn't really collect much, which is interesting. I don't know why. It just doesn't tend to sit on the deck on these models. But when it does, you can pop these right off and blow it out. It's very easy to get to, and we definitely appreciate that about these models. Another thing about these decks, which is a really nice upgrade, we now have the aluminum spindles that are greaseless. The whole machine is a greaseless machine, and it's been great. These have held up really, really well, and we're really happy to see that improvement from Toro. Additionally, on the 4000 series, we have struts rather than chains for the deck hangers. We really like this as well because if you've had a deck with chains, specifically the outgoing models of the Toros or the X-Marks, those chains wear. And when they wear, their tolerances loosen up and it becomes very difficult over time to level that deck very well. This is a better design in our opinion. It's just held up better. And we just find that they last a lot longer without having those issues with deck leveling, having to replace the chains and things like that. So we do appreciate that change as well. Along with the deck accessibility, there's a front panel right here. You can pull it right up, and then you have full access to your belts and pulleys. It's one belt that drives a deck. It's really easy to change. There's one tensioner. You can change the belt in less than a minute, 30 seconds. So if the belt does pop off, if you have a pine cone stuck in a pulley or a spindle, belt pops off. It's very, very easy to access and put on, and we definitely appreciate that from Toro as well. From a user standpoint, specifically from a fleet standpoint, using the machine day in, day out, making sure it stays cutting grass, and accessibility to get to things, it's a very well sorted machine. The new seat is nice, just a new stitching, which is nice. It's a perforated seat, and it is suspension as well. All of the 4000 series come with the suspension seat, the cushion armrest. It's very comfortable, and they hold up well. The deck lift system is new as well. It is an upgrade from the 3000 outgoing 3000 series, as well as the 5 and 6000 series, in my opinion. It's a lot easier to use. So you just push it up, and then this bar here allows it to release to come down. And then when it is locked in transport, it's just a magnetic pin. So super simple. It goes all the way up to 5 3/4 inch deck height, which is pretty darn tall. So if you're cutting really tall, thick grass, you have that capability as well. But it's very well labeled, and you just drop the pin in to whatever your deck height you desire. So super straightforward and easy. Control panel is laid out really well. This is the carbureted model, so we have a choke on it, and they do have the newer design toggle switch versus the pull-out PTO. These PTO switches have been holding up really well. We're glad to see that switch. This is the same one you're going to find in the grandstand as well from Toro. Another thing Toro thought about is its accessibility, meaning how you can get on and off the machine. There's a front plate here that you can step off right off the front, which is nice. There's also a giant grip pad here on the side. And then on the foot pad here, in older models, there was an adhesive strip of grip tape essentially, and it would wear off and it wouldn't look very good. And then also on the models that didn't have that, that were just painted, over time they would look terrible because the paint would wear off. They've added a rubber mat that is removable, which doesn't scratch up, and it's a lot more grippy. All right, guys, now that we've looked at all the features of the mower, let's try cutting some grass, just see what it looks like. See how the discharge is, see how it stripes. We are, in a field, and it's field grass, so we're mostly weeds, but we're gonna do our best and see what it looks like. Really surprised and impressed. I've seen this mower in action, but I've never cut with it myself. First time actually cutting. And I gotta tell you, I am incredibly surprised and impressed. I knew it was a great mower. I knew the Turbo Force deck, the new deck, was amazing. But in this field with pretty tall, thick field grass, the ability for it, one, to stripe, really good job striping, and two, the way it discharges the grass, there is zero thatch, nothing. And it's single cut. There was absolutely no reason that you need to do more than that. The lines look great. There's hardly any stragglers, which is surprising for field grass. There's a couple here or there, but overall, it's cut super evenly. We're cutting at 3 3/4, so a pretty normal range for our area, and it does amazing. Hopefully the video picked up how well it was dispersing the grass, but it was throwing it probably 2 to 3 lines, which helped with that disbursement and to have no clumping is really surprising. We've tested a lot of mowers out here. Not all of them have performed this way, but it just, you know, it goes to show Toro is a great brand. They've done an excellent job with this machine. If you're in the market for one of these, you know, a commercial zero turn for fleet use, I think this is an excellent option, and I definitely highly recommend checking it out, especially with this. But let's go check out the hill stability, and we'll see how it does there as well. All right, guys, Tim's been handling all of our hill tests, so I thought it appropriate to give it its best chance if Tim does this one as well. So we're gonna fire it up. We're gonna tackle the hill. On this hill that we test our mowers on, starts out about 15 degrees, then 20, and then towards the top there, that last third is 30 degrees. So I don't think it's gonna make it to 30 degrees, but we're gonna see how high it gets, how it feels, and Tim will give some feedback after the test. But we're gonna fire it up and give it a shot. Was actually really impressive. I did not think it was going to get nearly that high.
Me neither. I would have bet your money it would have made it 2 lines.
Yeah,
I could have done that third line. I think it could have held it. The only thing I didn't like doing was getting the turn up.
The turn up.
I didn't think it could make that.
Yeah, it's like almost 30. I don't know what it's rated for. I don't think it's 30
Not
degrees.
30, but it did it.
Yeah, we don't know what it's rated for, so probably don't try this at home.
Don't try
it. With anything, use intelligence and common sense when you tackle a hill. But even through 20 to 25 degrees, it did amazing. Way better than I actually thought it was going to do. It stuck to it. From here, how did it feel?
It felt fine. I felt the bottom slip out a little bit, but I didn't feel like it was like topsy-turvy, none of that. Just it felt stable. Sandy, like no problem. Like this thing is fine for hills.
All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. Definitely like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you think. Tell us how steep of a hill you'd be willing to cut with this thing. We're really impressed with this machine. You know, like I said, we sell a lot of them, and our customers have been super happy. So if you're in the market for a zero turn, if you live within 100 miles of Annapolis, definitely come check us out. This is a demo machine. We're happy to set up a demo for you so you can get out there on your properties and try it yourself. But again, we're really happy with this machine. We're happy we could make this video. Thanks for watching, and catch you on the next one.